Ya Baraka,
Ya Baraka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Waya Shamaka,
Waya Shamaka,
Yahweh,
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 Panyawa Al Yaka,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Waya Khanka,
Waya Khanka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yasha Yahweh,
Yasha Yahweh,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Waya Sham,
Waya Sham,
Laka Shalom,
Laka Shalom,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Barak Rapah,
Barak Rapah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Barak Rapah,
Barak Rapah,
Yasha Allah,
Yasha Allah.
Ya Baraka,
Ya Baraka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Waya Shamaka,
Waya Shamaka,
Yahweh,
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 Panyawa Al Yaka,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Waya Khanka,
Waya Khanka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yasha Yahweh,
Yasha Yahweh,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Panyawa Al Yaka,
Waya Sham,
Waya Sham,
Laka Shalom,
Laka Shalom,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Barak Rapah,
Barak Rapah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Bahasham,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Barak Rapah,
Barak Rapah,
Yasha Allah,
Yasha Allah. Yeah, we need a theme.
Shalom, shalom to those in the chat, to those coming in.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, family. What a freak. Oh, okay. The laptop is seconds behind. What's going on? None twin. Hey, what's going on, Knox? What's going on? Quash is in the chat. I see Quan from HQ. All right, let's see. Big sis.
Shalom.
How's everyone doing?
Okay, Doc. Okay. Took me a second. Had to reread that.
Yo, my laptop looks blurry.
It's an Android one.
No, it's not. This is Apple. It's Apple. Don't play. Looks like my laptop needs glasses.
Shalom, shalom.
What's going on, family? How's everyone's week so far? Trying to play my laptop.
Passover season.
Nah, this is
approaching,
Apple.
man.
Don't listen to him. Don't. Nah, this is a MacBook. Don't. Nah, hell no. Don't listen to him, yo. Don't listen to him. Passover season is upon us.
It's approaching. Get your souls ready.
Get your spirit right. Control your appetites. Let's see. You already know what we about to start off with. We about to start off with our definitions. All right, so who can I'll start in a couple. I need some more shalams in the chat. Y'all can hear me straight too, right? All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Can you open the door for Maya, please? For Maya. Nah, actually, hold on.
The door's green.
Huh?
The door's green.
Text the chat real quick. Hold on.
The door should be green. What's when I came up?
All right. We about to start off with our definitions. As you know, this is something that I like to do for us to define ourselves and in most high willing moving forward to apply these wisdoms, which is the principles. Who remembers the words that we went into before? Yo, go. Yo. Who remembers the principles or the past defined words that we went into before?
I got my own list.
You wrote some of them down.
Oh no. I was talking about my notes.
Shard knows that me and Dan don't be getting along. Me and Danites. Hey, Warren's in the chat.
Okay.
Who can remember the defined past words that we went into before we start this lesson, or before we get into the word of the night?
Jesus, I'm on this list. How did I make this? This is over.
Brock, I did not go into those words.
No, this is just a random list I made. I don't know what. I did this over 5 years ago.
Integrity was one of integrity. Integrity was one of them. Everybody's still coming in. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Pause real quick. All right, Salakia. Open the door for Maya. All right, let's do this. All right, the word of the night that we're going to define is courage. How would you define courage? A courageous person. And how can you apply that moving forward? Okay, that goes hand in hand. That does go hand in hand. Confidence is one of them. Yep. Okay. So, okay. Not showing fear. Okay. Did you hear the word Maya? Courage.
What?
Courage.
What?
How would you define it, and how can you apply it moving forward? Yo, Paul, man, I don't like how you use the word scary. Come on, yo, come on. Come on, Paul.
I put the best definition you could think of.
Yo, Hebrews 11:11. All right, let's take a jab at that. We gonna wait. You know what's crazy? I just read Hebrews 11:11 the other day.
But no, 11:1.
11 verse 1.
Hebrews 11 and verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for,
Yep.
the evidence of things not seen.
Evidence of things not seen. All right, that's faith. Big sis. Acting in faith and relying of the Most High strength and guidance. I like that one. Willingness. Yo, Kwame, you got to change your answer, man. The answer's a little too childish. Willingness.
Say optimism in the face of adversity and trials.
That's a good one. It says trusting in the Most High. Okay. Now, how can you guys apply that in your own lives? Because as like I said before, we can define a word, but it's best shown through our actions. We could define anything, but it's best shown through our actions. Frightening. You apply by works. Okay. But what is something courageous to do? What is something that you can think of that's very courageous for you to do?
I would say one thing that I definitely have taken the courage to do is to deal with a lot of my own issues, my own mental issues, and
Mayak got what I was looking for. Mayak, can you say that a little bit louder? If you can, you can sit right here if you want to.
no.
Oh, you know,
Well, yeah, I just got the gym. Like I said, I applying courage to me is to have the willingness, to have the motivation to actually deal with myself and the issues that I have of myself.
I think that's one of the best answers I've heard. I'm gonna read the definition off my phone. It says courage is the quality of being willingly to face fear, danger, or pain. It is also the ability to try something that's difficult or frightening. Wow, Kwame stole the definition. Yo, Kwame, you going off, but that's strike two. It says bravery, boldness, mettle, resolution, spirit, and tenacity. Examples of courage is standing up for what you believe in, taking responsibility for your own actions, keeping your commitments. That's another one. Keeping your commitments, forgiving others. That's a part of being courageous. That's a part of having courage, and learning from your mistakes. Who could tell me as to why learning from your mistakes is very courageous? Why does it take courage to learn from your mistakes?
It's easier to fall right back into them and just do it over again.
Okay.
It's easier to put in effort to not try than it is to try.
There we go. You're facing your demons. Go ahead. I like that, Ganon. Admit you're wrong. Yup. Humility, Khan. We fight the flesh every day. It's a daily battle. Khan, yes. You have a precept, Maya?
Can you reiterate the question again?
So why is it courageous for you to learn from your mistakes?
I think it is definitely courageous to learn from your mistakes because most people like to run from their mistakes.
Khan.
The scriptures say that, after sound counsel, go make war.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people do.
Read that. Get that precept and say that aloud. I'm gonna read some comments. Get that precept.
Read that precept.
Yeah, read that precept. That's a beautiful.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 6.
Go ahead.
I have a different version.
Okay. I'll read it out. It says, "For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war."
See, by wise counsel, go ahead.
For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war.
You're going to make war with yourself because anybody can receive and hear counsel, but it's up to you to listen and to take those steps in order for you to change the mind that you was before going into that counsel. Go ahead.
And in the multitude of counselors there is safety.
See, it takes courage for you to change your mind. It takes courage for you to break those barriers to actually hear or listen to what someone's saying to you in order to reform your thinking. I like that precept, Maya. That was a good one. Let me read some more.
All praises.
Let me read some more. Let's see. I love because we learn from them and know to do better. Khan, yup. Auntie, taking accountability of your mistakes. Don't be proud, Khan. Learning from your mistakes and taking accountability, and you're willing to change. See what this is. Your Khan. You can easily make a mistake and fall back into what you did versus taking accountability, holding yourself to a higher state, actually understanding the wrong and what you did. Khan. Let's see what Big Sis said, because it's not easy to face consequences of your action. That's a great one right there too. Panya, let's see, breaking generational curses. If we learn from our, that's a great one right there too. It takes courage to learn from your mistakes because facing mistakes and changing to be better can be frightening. I'm going to go into that. I'm going to go into that too as well. This is a great one too as well. Hold yourself accountable as a huge step because pride is the biggest stumbling block for your true spiritual growth. Khan, I'm going to go into that too. See, the sisters are on fire tonight. Okay. But watch takes humility because you then now have to be willing not only to admit that your fault, but to do work to correct them and avoid them going forward. Khan. The nun brought out Proverbs 19-20. Bring that up, Brock, real quick.
Can I read a quote?
Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
Great precept for that. Go ahead, Maya.
This quote was from a podcaster that was obviously around social media. And it's very simple. It says, "I'd rather be wrong than unwilling."
Break that down.
And I think that is the like deal breaker of being courageous or not. If you rather, if you have courage enough to understand your mistake and actually receive all that comes with that mistake, is better than like blocking it and avoiding it and unwilling to learn from it.
Okay. I'm gonna read more on it. Courage in action. Courageous people act in spite of their fear to protect others pursue their goals, or remain true to their values. Okay, courage in everyday life. You can show courage in everyday life by being yourself, having a voice, saying sorry, letting go, and growing and learning. That's courage right there. That's being courageous right there. And there's one highlighted word out of that definition that I want to talk about, and that's fear. When you look at the word courage, fear sticks out. Because especially in the body filled with sick people, and I'm talking about the people who's rather in this camp or in this truth, we are all sick. We come to that knowledge. And in order for us to become healed, sometimes we have to confess certain things that we may be dealing with inwardly. A lot of times that we become so shut in with our own emotions that we don't like to express nothing to nobody. And we feel like only God can change you. When in reality, being vulnerable helps the person change. When you tell yourself, it's time for me to open up to somebody that's willing to hear and listen to me, you're telling yourself that I'm ready to be healed, because you don't know what the Most High might be doing to that person to hear you. That's how the Most High works. God works through people. God established counselors. He places counselors within our lives. And with that, we must go seek the answers that may be troubling us. And that takes courage to defeat fear, right? Courage is actually faith too as well. It goes hand in hand. Courage and faith is hand in hand. They're married together. But what's the opposite of courage is fear. When you fear, you become doubtful. When you become doubtful, you become prideful. When you become prideful, you become this lone wolf. And this truth, you're not a lone wolf. To anybody that might be listening, and to those who's not in this walk, you are not a lone wolf. Life was not created for you to be a lone wolf. The Lord created life for you to be around amongst others, peers that looks just like me and you, for us to be a community of people, for us to get this right in this lifetime. So Most High willing, we can see each other in the next, soon to come. That's courage right there. Let's see. Y'all see the title. Courage is going to be brought up inside this lesson too as well, and fear. The title of this class is called Old Seasons Entering into a New. Old season entering into a new. Who could take a little hint as to what I'm about to go into? Before we do that, we are approaching Passover season. Are we approaching that time to where the actual new year is about to emerge? We're about to go into it. So we understand that spring is about to come soon. And I also understand that a lot of us has been struggling inwardly, struggling financially, or anything that you might be going through that you do not discuss with others. We understand that. I understand that. Right? So with this lesson, I hope to really engage with you guys to try to really talk to you and really get the heart of what you guys may be thinking about the times and the struggles that you may be going through in this season. If you are going through a struggle in this season, if you're not, and if you're entering into a new phase within your life to where the Lord has been blessing you and answering your prayers and helping you with anything that you may be going through in the lifetime that you're living right now. But this is just for everybody to listen, not just the ones in this room. It's time to start dealing with in-house issues within, I want to say, for quote unquote Israel. You know, guys, I don't like doing that. I like we are Israel. The ones who look like us, we're Israelites. It's just that some just don't believe, some just don't know. Right. But when you make this about a community, it comes with issues. When you make this about a community, you want to be like everybody else in the world, because everybody else got their own community. Everybody else got a high following. Everybody else has a high stature in life. So when you make this about a community, you think the same thing, just with the book in your hand. You're no different from everybody else out there. You're no different, right? So we are God's chosen elect people, and as God's chosen people, we have to walk with integrity. We come with morality. We come with the moral code, which is the Bible, and the Bible is used for our living. The Bible is not used for religion. We use this to decode the struggles of life. We use this to apply the wisdom inside our own life so we can be a people someday, most high willing. As I was speaking to Apayak earlier, I was telling him that this life right now is just the G League or the D League, whatever it is called for NBA terms, right? This is just the G League right now. When we make it to the NBA, most high willing, that's when Christ is ruling. But right now, this is just a practice one. So everything that we are going through right now is just a practice run. But the Lord ultimately wants you to live life. He created life for you to live. But a lot of times is that we forget about that. And we think that life is just so grievous because of the circumstances that you may be living in. But those problems and issues that you may be going through life is just temporary. But you make your mind believe to perceive the things that you may be going through in that situation that you think that life is just hell. But newsflash, Christ died for us so we can live again.
Right.
Christ died for you so you can live again, so you can apply the laws that he has set down for us and move forward as a community, as a people, so we can help one another, so we can gain one another. When you look into the laws were created around us as a people. That's what the laws was created for us to be a people. Example, when you have a business, I'm using Apayak again. When you have a business, for example, let's say if Apayak is a business owner and he has an influx of crops, farms, fruits, you name it. And Brock comes along, Brock doesn't have as much as Apayak does. But you know what Apayak might do because what's inside the law? Apayak might leave some fruits and vegetables on the end. So Brock can pick it up for his own liking because he's helping out Brock willingly. It's not counting, okay, if I give this away, I might have this much left over for my household. No, Apayak is a business owner. He has money. So you know what you do out of the selflessness of your heart? You leave things that you do not need. Okay, I got enough right here. Let me just leave that right there. So a brother of mine or a sister of mine can walk past and pick it up. Because what I'm doing, I'm helping others. But we forget about that in this truth when we make this into a religion. When you make this into a religion, you limit yourself. You limit the possibilities that the Lord has to provide in this life. And when you just only solely think that you're supposed to just go to camp and go to class, and that's it, and training. When you think like that, you become robotic, and then you limit yourself, and you think that Lord just made life for you just to be that way. When he created life for you to indulge in righteously with morality. So, let's start off with Ecclesiastes chapter. Damn, I wasn't even there. Oldie but goodie. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1. Hold on, Trip. Let me get there real quick. Let's do this.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yep.
To everything there is a season.
So to everything there is a season. That everything is life itself. To everything there is a season. In creation, there is a season. There's summer, there's winter, there's fall, and there's spring. The Lord created creation to show the time and the season of what the creation is at some point. Even in life itself, the Lord created certain seasons inside your own personal life to show you whether you're gaining or whether you're losing, whether you're being prosperous or whether you might be going through a trial. The Lord created life for a reason. Go ahead, bro.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
And there's a time to every purpose under the heaven. Go ahead.
Time to be born and a time to die.
So in life, there's many chapters, right? In life, there's many chapters. Go ahead.
And a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
So there's a time to plant and a time to pluck up. What does the plant mean in this? Who could tell me from your own terms or where I'm going with this? Who could tell me what does the planting mean?
Definitely have to be some form of renewal.
bro. Good. Tell me, what does the planting mean? Because the Lord said that there's a time to plant, and there's also a time to pluck up. Simplify that just a bit more, Ganon. I like that one too, Coin. I'm gonna hold that one in my mind. That was a good one. Now, with this, let's think of our own individual lives. A time to plant and a time to pluck up. Let's try to apply this into our own lives. Because there's no wrong answers. We're just talking to each other in the individual lives that the Lord has placed us in at the moment. I like that, Kwam. Okay, Kwam, we getting somewhere. You got done with them other definitions. You're getting it. You're getting it. Nakia, yeah, Khan. Okay. He asked. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. Come on, Tazoya, yo. Fuge coming out of nowhere with that great answer. You reap what you sow. That's what I'm looking for. You reap what you sow. Because when you're planting, especially if we are going through something in your own personal lives, right? When we're trying to grind, that's the planting. When you're grinding, that's planting. When you don't see the fruits of your labors, that becomes frustrating. That's you planting. But the Lord is telling you, when you're grinding and when you're in that phase of constantly putting in work, whether it be inside the truth, when you're going to camp, class, training, whether you're teaching, whether you're learning and applying the wisdoms, you're also doing that outside to where you're working constantly to try to pay the bills. You're studying school to try to get this certain degree to get a higher paying job so you can provide more for your families, right? You're doing certain things and you think that what you're doing is not much effort behind it. But the Lord is saying that there's a time and place for everything. There's a time for you to plant. And when you're planting, that seed is going to uproot someday. It may take days, it may take months, but that seed is going to uproot someday. I'm sorry, I'm using Apayak as another example because I was on the phone with him, but if you don't know, Apayak he just got a home with his wife and his kid, right? All praises to him. And what he was telling me is that before he had got that place, that was I don't know how many years it was, but it was a year plan, not years, plural, many year plan for him to get a house. And he did not get it in a snap of a finger. But I'm pretty sure he learned financial aid. He learned about the housing market and he planted that seed. And as he planted that seed, he didn't give up, but he kept working towards that goal. I want everybody tonight to whatever you put your mind to, that what you're doing right now, whatever thing that you planted is going to uproot someday, but you just have to have the obedience to wait for it. And that takes faith and that takes courage. So there's a time to plant and there's going to be a time for you to pluck up, right? Because it's hard for us to hear that too as well. When you put the Bible aside and you forget about the Bible, I should say. You forget about the word and what it tells you, how to be obedient, how to be faithful, and how to wait. We forget about that. We forget all about that when we get into our own feelings. We get into this woe is me moment. We forget about the times that the Lord has helped us within our lifestyle, the time that he has saved us from certain circumstances, how he did not make you go broke, but you're complaining about financial issues, which is understandable. We forget about all the moments that the Lord has helped us within our lifestyle when it comes to marriages, financial issues, children, etc., etc. We forget about all that, right? When we come to our own feelings. But But that's why the Lord has given us, like I said before, counselors for us to confide to, so they can tell us where we are going wrong and tell us that we need to be patient and then relate to you, because the counselors that is helping you, they also have been in your shoes. They have also experienced such frustrations within moments in their lifestyle. And now they're in a place to where they are a walking testimony for us to get it right. We're following along? Give me a 1 in the chat if we're following along. We are following along. Read 3 verse 1 again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
To everything there is a season.
To everything there is a season. Life is filled with seasons. Life is filled with chapters. I don't know if you guys know this, but some do. The ones I've been on the phone with constantly, especially Shamak and Gawar. Life has been my biggest meditation. Life and creation has been my biggest meditation, and it's been very humbling. And I'm going to tell you my conclusion at the end of the class, what I think about life. But life has been my biggest meditation. It's very humbling. And it's very, if I were you guys, if when you go home, or you guys are ready on Slovakia, when the class is done, I'll take the time to try to meditate on life. Because this is what this lesson is about too as well. When you're looking into old seasons that you may be going through, going into the new season in your life, meditate on life. See where you came from square zero to see where you're at now. Look at the progress that you have been making, and do not turn around and don't look back. The moment you look back is the moment you fail. The moment you fail, it's the moment that you give up on yourself. And when you give up on yourself, you give up on your family and everybody around you. That's how big it is. That's how big this walk is. When you come into this understanding, once you give up, you're giving up on everybody. You're giving up on Christ too. Because now you're telling Christ that sacrifice that he has done for me, well, that's what you're telling Christ. Go back, read that again.
To everything there is a season, and to every purpose under the heaven.
Verse 2.
A time to be born and a time to die.
Go ahead.
A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
So a time to plant. So the works that we've been doing, the constant grinding that we're doing, the studying that we have been doing, the work we put in this truth, to where you think that no one's looking at the deeds that you're doing when it's being watched. Every action that you are doing in this camp is being watched and is being congratulated by the Most High. He may not openly reward you at that moment, but your time will come when he openly rewards you. It's being watched. Everything that the house of Kawan is doing right now, when it comes to making the garments and the business and the oils that they're producing out of it, that's being watched. It's going to be openly rewarded. Everything else that everybody is doing in their walks of life right now is being watched. But keep on grinding and keep on pushing, because the greater good is going to come at the end. Go ahead, Brock.
A time to kill and a time to heal.
Stop right there. Now, actually, keep reading.
A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up.
Right. There's going to be a time to where you have to break down. I'm not saying be a robot. Not saying that. There's going to be moments in your life to where you're going to have to break down. And not just you physically breaking down, but there's going to be times to where you're going to have to break down certain uncomfortabilities, certain conversations, certain walls within yourselves. A lot of us in this walk is so shielded. You're so closed-minded. You're so closed in. We're supposed to be a family, right? Do you honestly believe that we are a family? That's a question. Do you guys honestly believe that we are a family? Come on, right? We're a family.
Absolutely.
So as real relatives, not the fake ones in the world to where you leave, and then we start talking crazy, bonching jada, start talking crazy about each other, right? We are a real family. So anything that you may be dealing with, that wall that you have in between each other, break that down. And then I'm not saying confide to everybody that you see. I'm not saying that. But there's somebody inside this camp, not just in this camp, but people across the world that might be tuning in. There's somebody in your life that you can confide to, that you can talk to. For the sisters, Ida's there for you to talk to. She's not going to judge you, but she's here for you. She's here to talk to you. She's here to tell you what she thinks about the certain situation that you might be going through. For the brothers, Gawar's there, Shamak's there, Panah's there. There's certain brothers that is there. Even Zaquan. Zaquan is there. There's brothers in your life that you can call, that you can confide to for help. I'm not saying you could choose out of those list of brothers and sisters that I've said, but there's somebody there who knows you, who you can call to be like, you know what, can we go out for a drink? I just gotta let loose and talk for it. I gotta get something off my. You can do that. For the sisters, I don't know what sisters be doing. Salakia. Sisters, y'all can put an example. I don't know what y'all be doing. Salakia. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But for the brother's sake, I'm gonna speak on the brother's sake. You could be like, yo, man, I just need to build. That's what me and Mayak do. Me and Mayak been like this, thick and thin. Me and Mayak stay built. It's Shemai, but Shemai left. He's on. Salakia, but not by now. Forgot about my big sis by now. Right to this brothers, you can't confide to Kawan. Me and Kawan's conversation is always 4 hours max. I don't know why it's always 4 hours max. And we're just building. We're going in and out the scriptures, talking about our own personal growth in life. A lot of y'all don't know. Well, to those who's not in this camp, Kawan used to be a fitness coach, right? And he still is today. But there's a moment in his life to where, he gained a little weight, lost himself. But through him coming back, to the school and him being reminded to what we're doing, brought him back into that beast mode. That's why y'all see Kawan today doing the 1 billion push-ups that he's doing right now. Yep. That's why you see him doing that today, because we inspire each other. When you don't see that we inspire each other, then what are you doing in this school? What are you doing in this truth? This truth is full of inspiration. When you can't see that, and when you become so self-centered and just only care about yourself and the woe is me spirit, then what are you doing? When you lack gratitude, what are you doing? We are supposed to be around each other to inspire each other. We are supposed to have each other on speed dial because we are a family. Whatever you're going through, I will make it myself to feel the pain that you are going through, to relate to what you're going through, so I can gain you again. That's what this truth is about. Doctrines is there. We're supposed to defend the gospel. But ultimately, this truth is about us coming together as a nation again. Kingdom building. This is the G League. This is the first start. We have to get it right now. So Most High willing, we can get it better in the future when Christ is ruling. Vulnerability is key, Ganon. Vulnerability is key. But how we grew up, we never grew up that way. We grew up with single parents. We grew up with just solely a father or just solely a mother. But when you have both parents, your father is supposed to teach you tough love, and your mother is supposed to teach you love. When you just only have your mother's love, what are you doing? You become emotional. You think things out of emotion. But with your father, you might mess up. Your father might get on you, and he tell you that he loves you after that. He will show you why, where you went wrong. And then both of them combined, you're teaching yourself or not teaching yourself. They're teaching you to have a certain intellectual conversation, or to where you're thinking over the problem that's at hand. This is what we need as a nation. And I promise you, excuse me, Salaki. And I promise you, a lot of the problems that you see happening in this truth will not be so severe. When you learn how to be open and vulnerable with the things that you are dealing with in this walk, you will not be making these decisions that you are making today. You will not be making the wrong decisions in life that you are making today. But guess what? I said life. Sometimes the wrong decisions bring you closer to the Most High. I'm going to let that one sink in. I'm not saying make a wrong decision, but I'm saying this. Sometimes the wrong decisions that you make brings you closer to the Most High. And we see that through many examples of the brothers that you see in this book. The brothers that you see in this book, whether it be King David, whether it be Job, whether it be Moses, right? All these people inside this book is for us to relate to. It's kind of hard because they're inside the pages. They lived back then, but we don't know them right now. That's why we have each other. There's brothers in this room. There's brothers outside this room. There's brothers and sisters in this camp who made mistakes. But because they made that mistake, the relationship between them and the Most High became greater, because that's what God does within the individual of that life, that person's life. But it's hard for us to see that. It's hard for us to see that. A righteous man, right? Ash followed 7 times. But he will rise again. With the right people around him, he will rise again. In the season that you're going through within your life, you will get through it. Don't take a knee and don't give up. Because the moment you do, you give up on everything that's being said tonight, and you give up on everything that this truth has done for you and your family. You built relationships inside this truth. Your kids are running around with other people's kids. The adults are becoming closer and becoming honest family members. This is what this truth is supposed to produce. Give me Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Let's get that real quick.
Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Be not deceived, God is not mocked.
Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Go ahead.
For whatsoever a man soweth,
So for whatsoever a man soweth, what a man puts in, or a woman, right? Because it's talking about both. What they put in, go ahead.
for whatsoever a man soweth,
Yep.
that shall he also reap.
You're going to also reap that. You're going to also reap that. Do you guys honestly believe, an open question, do you guys honestly believe the things that you put in, do you think that you will receive it? The reward that comes after it? The hard work? The benefits that come after it? Do you honestly believe that? Be honest with yourselves. And if you don't want to answer the chat, I already told you before, the people that are supposed to be in our lives for counsel's sake, they're there for you. If you don't want to express nothing in the chat, express it to them. Build up the courage. That's the definition. Build up the courage to speak to them. Build it up, because Passover season is coming. And one thing that Gwar always says is a lot of people wear costumes to the Passover. A lot of people wear costumes to the Passover. It's not about the best garments. I can give a damn about the garments. That's a part of our culture. I love our garments. But on that day, I'm not worried about the garment. I'm worried about what's in here. I'm worried about what's in here. I'm worried about renewing myself for that day. Because enough's enough with failing. Enough's enough with losing. Aren't you tired of losing? It's time for us to get this right. Passover is coming. The Pesach is coming. Do not be on that day wearing a damn garment. Not Salakia. I'll use that. Do not be on that day just wearing a damn garment, a costume. Don't be there just for that day. Don't do that. Because if you feel like you're not ready, do not show up. We have a lot of brothers and sisters who went to the Passover and was just wearing a costume. Khan, I like that, bro. We have too many stories of people going to the Passover being unsatisfied with their garments. People are unsatisfied with the garments, Brock. What? Are you kidding me? Your money will get to you, but you're dissatisfied with your garment instead of dissatisfied the spirit that you brought to the Passover that night. You're dissatisfied with the food that's being presented. You're dissatisfied of you sitting a certain place and you're not sitting where other people feel like they're head honcho. A lot of people dissatisfied with their garment, Mayak. You kidding me? That's the last thing you should be thinking about on that day. A garment. That's the day where that's supposed to be a memorial for us to remember and to think on. And that's going to be across the ages to come for us to keep the Passover. The greatest high holiday, and you worried about a damn garment? This is nuts. This is crazy.
Christ talks about that, man. He brought
in the phylacteries, the borders. The Passover is not about the garments, family. Just to give y'all a heads up. And to those who may be watching, because there's a lot of people in this walk that make the Passover just about the garments. You have the flyest garment in the world. Okay, that's cool. Glad that you have that. But what about this? What about this? What do you deal with on a day-to-day basis? And have you conquered that? Have you controlled your appetite? Have you done the necessities of renewing yourself? Have you been truly baptized? These are real questions. Have you been truly baptized? And when you are baptized, being baptized in this walk does not mean you're baptized one time. Because just like what I said before in the beginning of this class, life is many seasons. So you're going to be baptized a lot of times within your life.
Absolutely.
You're going to be baptized multiple times in your life. You're going to have to be renewed. You can't be the same as yesterday. You have to be different from the different day. You have to be renewed always. Go back to Galatians.
Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked.
Go ahead.
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Go ahead.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
So if you sow unto your flesh, you're going to reap corruption. So when you're in this walk, I'll say, and you're doing things for your own vainglory, you're going to be exposed. Hey, text your top of the doors already open, please. When you're doing things out of your own glory, you're going to be ultimately exposed because the carpet. You're going to be exposed because you're not doing this for the betterment of the nation. You're not doing that for that. You're doing it for the multiple followers on Instagram. You're doing that to be known everywhere, the top teachers. Have y'all seen this? I saw this thing where people go on chat TV. What is that chat bullcrap? This AI bullcrap, Salakia, when they be like, who's the most prominent teacher in the Israelite community? And I'm like, what? What's going on? Does that make you feel good at night? Because you was nothing in the world, you use this to make yourself something. You're still a dweeb at the end of it. Because instead of giving glory to the Most High, no matter how much times you may say, oh, praise to the Most High, you're not giving him that glory. You're going on a freaking AI and be like, who's the most prominent teacher? And you're going off the, what? Is this what this truth became to you? We got real life issues in this community. We got real life issues. We have people dealing with suicide on a day-to-day basis within this walk. You have people struggling with marriages who's trying to get their marriage right for the betterment of each other, for the community, for the children. You have people suffering financially, and that's what you can do. Who's the most prominent teacher? I can give a damn how good you teach. But if your heart is not right, who are you? If you don't know who the Most High is and what Christ truly done for you in your life, if you're not being renewed on a day-to-day basis, who are you? I can give a crap, a damn about who you are. Because at the end of the day, what you're showing me is just a big dweeb. That's one of my favorite words, by the way. So you're a dweeb. You're a doofus. You're a goofball. Because you're a goofball. What are you doing? The top. What? And this is why other people look at this walk and they look at the Israelites and be like, oh, those Israelites, they're such and such. I don't mess with the Israelites. Israelites, they're hate group, this, that. You're making it like that. When you try to defend this truth and you tell them, well, we're not a hate group, you make it seem that way because of your behaviors. Your behaviors represents everybody in this truth. Yes, we're in different camps, but your behavior represents everybody in this truth. So now you're putting a nasty taste in everybody's mouth. Now they are assuming, thanks. Now we're the big clowns. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, prominent teachers. To those who searched up who's the top prominent, thanks a lot. You made us look like the biggest clowns. Thank you. Because instead of looking at this truth as the betterment of each other, learning the true baptism and the sacrifice of Hamashiach Yahushai and what he went through for us to live again, that we may be in this life, instead of looking at that, you thought about yourself. You thought about being the camp teacher. You thought about, okay, I can't wait to be this general. I can't wait to be this captain. I can't wait to be this camp teacher so I can have men under me that I may rule over them and tell them what to do. Because outside of this, how I grew up wasn't that way. You tried to emulate something that you wasn't. And now the Lord is just going to continuously expose people who do that. Read Galatians 6 and 7.
Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Go ahead.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
See, go ahead.
But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
But if you sow of the Spirit, you will reap life everlasting. When you see this walk and when you're doing things for the betterment of the people around you, especially in the tough trials of your life right now, because that's a class, in the season that you might be going through in your life right now, when you're sowing things in the Spirit, you will be rewarded. When you're doing things for the betterment of your situation, when you're waking up with faith instead of doubt, because a lot of us wake up with doubt. When you wake up with doubt, you're not doing nothing. You're not moving nothing. You're doubting the Most High and his capabilities. But when you wake up with faith, when you thank the Most High for him waking me up for another day, for me to get things right in my own life, when you do that, you're speaking blessings on yourself. Because ultimately, in the end of it all, you are a walking blessing. You are a walking blessing, brothers and sisters that may be listening in this class. Go ahead.
Verse 9, and let us not be weary in well-doing.
Yep.
For in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
So do not be weary in well-doing. Do not be weary. If you have to take up another job in order for you to get your finances right, do it. If that's the last result for you getting your finances right and you cannot find no other way, do it. Because the Lord will reward you openly and he will help you out. You will get to this place to where you're not going to be struggling. You will get to this place to where your marriages won't be struggling as much. You will get to this place where anything that you may be going through within your personal walk, you won't be going through that. Because the time that we are living in right now and each and every individual life is just for a time. It's for a season. It's temporary. Don't you guys know the struggle that you are going through is temporary? It may be long. There's no time limit on it. The Most High is working on his own time. We want to apply our own time that we're living in to his time. Like, all right, Lord, I had enough. Is it going to be tomorrow? No, you don't know when is your time. The Lord has your time set for the time to glorify him. That's the beauty behind it. When he answers you, it's to glorify himself and it's to shed light on your situation so you can glorify him. That's what I mean by glorifying himself. Because when he puts that light on you, you're going to glorify him. You're going to thank him. You're going to break down. That time is going to come. Just be patient. When you're not patient, you lose control, you lack faith, and nothing, the work that you put in through, Salaki, the work that you put in, is not going to be shown. Go ahead, Brock, read that again.
And let us not be weary in well-doing.
Do not be weary in well-doing. Always do good. Because in order for you to seek peace, when you I'm jumping the gun a bit. Keep reading.
For in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
So in due season, you're going to reap. You're going to reap. You're going to get what you've been grinding for, what you've been praying for. Because there's a lot of prayers that we have been saying and that you feel like it's been unanswered. There's no unanswered prayers unless if it's not of wisdom and unless the Lord didn't deem it so, if he thinks it's not good for you. But the things that you have been praying for is going to be answered in that rightful time, in that season. But right now, in the season that you may be going through, keep on going and do not quit, because the Lord has your back. He might take the time to just step back a bit to see what you're going to do, because that's what happens sometimes. The Lord gets quiet sometimes. And I don't know about you guys, I hate when he gets quiet.
The teacher is always silent during the test.
That was a good one. Type that in the chat.
Come on, now.
That was a great one. Brock said the teacher is always silent during the test. That's a great one. The Lord's going to be silent, but he wants to see what you're going to learn from this. He wants to see how you're going to maneuver through this, because ultimately he makes the end for the situation that we are going through. Ultimately, he does. He doesn't leave you in the dust. But there are moments to where he gets quiet, and those be the worst. I don't know about y'all. Those be the worst. You just been like, damn, Lord, are you here? I've been knocking. You gonna answer? He's quiet for a reason. That's how he is. Gosh. You want to say that louder?
No.
But
especially when you put you through it, man.
God.
It's like it's one of those topics like it's like very sensitive.
When he puts you through it, right?
Oh yeah.
And like I said before, it's for a purpose, it's for a reason. Because sometimes the Lord, sometimes people mess up so they can become closer to the Most High. That's how some people got to learn the hard way. That's what it is. That's life. Some people got to learn the hard way. It's true. It's true to say. A lot of us are in here because we've learned the hard way. A lot of us got our acts together because we've learned the hard way. I know I did. Learning the hard way is one of the most crucial things and the best things for you to become closer to the Most High. I'll just say that right there. Because now you're gaining the lesson behind it. And as you're gaining the lesson behind it, you're moving forward and you're applying the wisdom that you learned from that lesson. Okay, I'm not going to act this way because I saw what happened before. Okay, the Lord had to remind me how scary he is. Because when the Lord, remember, I would like to have everybody remember this title. It's in, I believe, Nehemiah. When Nehemiah calls the Most High the great and terrible God. We forget about that title. He is the great. He's a loving and compassionate. But we forget that he is also a terrible God. To those who sin, to those who do not walk in the path that he has set for us to walk in, he can become terrible. He can make your life a living hell. But just like that, he can also make you return. Because that's how he can become closer to you. All right, now, fear. I got something about fear. But let me read the chat. I haven't been reading the chats. It's a lock it, family. Oh, man, there's too much. Family, I'm going to have to put you on pause, man. There's too much. Fear. Because we went into that earlier. Fearing the unknown, not knowing the outcome before even starting the journey. Now, before that, the question that I've put was, now, what is the only thing holding you back from obtaining the success in your new season? I'm going to ask that again. Now, what is the only thing holding you back from obtaining the success in your new season? I said fear. That's the answer that I'm about to give, and I'm going to go into it. One more time, just in case no one heard me. Now, what is the only thing holding you back from obtaining the success in your new season? Okay, so we're all on the same page. We're all on the same page. Let me get a little bit more, then I'll go into it. Damn, sis, you got it. Highlight that. She got the answer. She got the answer I was going to go into. No, fear the unknown. My self-doubt and fear. Con, sis, doubt. Fear the unknown. Fearing the unknown, not knowing the outcome before even starting the journey. A lot of times, especially when we are going through a certain trial within our life, we have this fear within our minds to where we don't know where to start. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. We truly think that the Lord is not going to hear us. And when you fear, you limit yourself and you box yourself in. You box yourself in and you think that the Lord is not capable enough of hearing you and helping you. That's what happens when you fear. When you have self-doubt, when you're not courageous enough, when you don't have faith, these are the things that's going to not help you grow. That's going to stunt your growth. Right? So fear is self-doubt. Fear means that you lack faith. Fear is the opposite of courage. Succumbing to your own fear is you telling the Most High that you don't believe that he can help you prosper out of the storm. With fear, you limit yourself, just like what I said in box. And also, with fear, you have a finite mind. You limit yourself. I want to go into that too as well. Give me the definition of, and this is something that I put in the chats on a guy named Simon Sinek. He said something that stuck out to me. Going into the definitions of finite and infinite mind. Go in the definition of a finite mind, please, real quick, Brock. Or Dr. Cool, hit me with the finite. Go to finite definition.
Okay. Says having limits or bounds.
Having limits or bounds. That's for finite. So I'll play out there. Let me see if he's there. Okay, con. This is laggish on our end. Read that, Brock. Oh, you read that.
That's good. Says having definite or definable limits. Says having a limited nature or existence.
Having a limited nature or existence, right? That's the mindset that there are times in our lives where we succumb to. We think that it's very finite. We think that we have to box ourselves, and we think that we can't step outside of that box. And when you do that, you're limiting the Most High. Just like what Mayak has been saying, when you limit yourself, you're limiting the power that you have within. And you're telling God that he cannot do much for me. I don't believe the miracles that you can do for me when you limit yourself. Now go to infinite. All right, I gave this class has been a shout out to certain brothers. Another shout out, right? So when you have an infinite mindset, I'm gonna give a certain shout out to my older brother Yeshaya real quick. As if you guys don't know, Yeshaya is a firefighter, and he is also what's that one he is? Working the ambulance? RN? What is it? Yeshaya, I don't know if you're
EMT.
EMT. Salakia, don't beat me up. It's my older brother right there. Oh, snap. He is an EMT, right?
Oh, shit.
But I was there. That's literally our blood. That's the, you know what I mean? But I was there when he was in that study session, when he was literally grinding it out, when he had to take the long test on the laptops, and it took about what, a year or two? It took a year or two. And this is what happens when you have faith. That's why you see him in certain apparels, you know, with this, you know what I mean? Because he's a firefighter. But it took faith, and it took him trusting in the Most High, and it took him grinding in order for him to get to where he's at right now. Because he had that infinite mindset. He didn't box himself in. He did not box himself in. He told the Lord, this is something that I want to pursue, and I just asked if you could help me out. It took time. The work was put in, but now he's enjoying the fruits of the labor. He's enjoying what he wanted to do, and now he's doing it. Kaz as well, top HVAC technician. I was there when Kaz went to school, and the first job that he applied for when he had, you know, got his license, when he got it, a year or two? I believe he got it in a year, I believe. But he had got his HVAC technician, both of them in a year or so, I believe. And now he's enjoying the fruits of his labor because he honestly worked for that. And he's doing things that he loves to do. This is what happens when you do not box yourself. This is what happens when you don't limit yourself. When you limit yourself, when you make this to a religion, you can't experience life. Like I said before, this is the Lord showing us that you can't experience life. Life is made for us to experience, but with morality, with discipline. But when you have a finite mind, you cannot think that way. Read the definition of the infinite mind, bro, real quick. Oh, shit, it's kind of hot. I told you.
Says immeasurably or inconceivably great or extensive,
Yep.
subject to no limitation or external determination, extending beyond, lying beyond, or being greater than any preassigned finite value, however large.
Go ahead.
Extending to infinity, characterized by an infinite number of elements or terms.
All right, now they're going into the freaking superpower shit. But anyways, that's what happens when you believe and have faith. When you have that, your mind open to possible outcomes that you don't even know about. But it takes courage for you to step foot into that. It takes courage. It takes courage for certain things in your own life when it comes to personal testimonies such as Mayak, Barak, Yatab, Captain Shamak. It takes courage for you to express yourself and to talk about what you are going through. It takes faith. I've also put trusting the Most High is not always easy. It's easy to trust the Most High when everything is in prosperity, when everything around you is peaceful. It's easy to trust in the Lord in that, right? When everything is going well, it's easy. But true faith is built in the moment when you don't see a way out. Let me say that again. True faith is built in the moment to where you don't see a way out. That's what faith is. Because it's easy to trust in the Lord when everything is going your way. It's easy to trust in him. It's easy when he's blessing you with certain things in front of you, right? It's easy, but it's faith is only tested when the circumstances ahead of you seem a little shaky, scary. You don't know how you're going to get out of it, but you do know that you will get better. You got a precept?
This is Sirach chapter 11 and verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity.
Right. In the day of prosperity, it's a forgetfulness. You forget. You lack fear. I'll say that too as well, because sometimes fear is good when you're fearing the Most High. Right. You forget. You don't have gratitude. You're not grateful. But when you forget about all these things in the moment of prosperity, you forget what it means to struggle. Do not forget what it means to struggle. I'm not saying going back, I'm not saying go back in time and continuously experience that struggle and you bring it up. Don't do that. But do not forget what it means to struggle, because that will humble you. I'll read that precept for the nun.
Romans 5:3, and not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
Tribulation worketh patience. That's a great one. Real quick. Now let's go into Romans chapter 8, verse 24. Infinite mind, long-term growth. Hit me when you're ready, bro.
This is Romans chapter 8 and verse 24. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope.
Right. Hope that is seen is not hope. We're saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. Faith that is seen is not faith, because you're seeing it right before your eyes. Go ahead.
For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope.
Yep.
For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for?
For what a man seeth, why? Keep reading.
Verse 25. But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
And this is another shout out I want to give. Salakia, man. I just love y'all for real. Florida, to the Florida brothers, congratulations on the new school.
Oh,
I would like to openly congratulate y'all. Florida, congratulations on the new school, man. Quick round of applause. Sorry, Salakia. Come on, man. As y'all know, Gawar has been down there and Shema has been down there for 3 years, I believe, right? And just like how I said before, when you're planting, you don't know how long that seed might uproot. And there's been a lot of hard work and prayers that's been going to in Florida, a lot of grinding, a lot of working in order for them to get this school going. And finally, the Most High has answered the prayers, and now we have another school in Florida. We have another school in Florida. And I pray that these brothers that's in Florida, I pray that they do good things. Remember your integrity, remember the discipline, and continue to do good works. Mm-hmm. Remember to stay in this zone to where we are family, carry each other's burdens, and really consult each other. Kind of mad because y'all stealing Tazawar. A brother of ours at HQ is going to Florida to stay. Yeah, Gawar stole it. Yeah, kind of mad y'all stealing Tazawar. But hey. But y'all continue to do great things, for real.
Tazawar wanted the palm tree.
And one thing I want to say.
Speak up, Cap.
That, yes, it's a school for Florida, but really it's a school for all around.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It shows the progress that we're making as an entire organization and body. You know, because the idea is for Louisiana to eventually have a school, North Carolina to eventually have a school, so on and so forth.
Come on.
So, you know, the Lord is allowing us to make progress and evolve and grow.
Come on. And due season. This is the season to where now we have another school for us to indulge in and for us to produce good works. And Most High willing, in the other selected states that Shabak had brought out, the same goes as well for you guys as well. I heard the plans of Akbayat earlier of what he's about to start doing. You know, pray Texas does the same thing too as well. You know, so this is the season to where the things that we have planted, the season that, you know, the things that we have been working for, everything is going to uproot in this time. Most High willing soon, but keep on going at it. Look at the works that we have been putting in. The Lord is honestly blessing and hearing our prayers, yeah. Everyone come down to this.
That's petty, Tazawar.
Tazawar, come on, man. God. Go back to Romans 8, verse 25.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 25.
Yep.
But if we do hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
With patience, we wait for it because it will come to pass. 3 years takes a while. 3 years moving down there takes a while. But you know what the Most High does? He renews you and he reconstructs your mindset, because you cannot leave something and bring the same mindset with you. You have to leave that behind. In order for you to start something new, in order for you to reap the things that you planted, your mind has to be different too as well. I'm going to get into that later, but you have to think differently. You have to. You can't be the same as before, because then you're not going to produce nothing good. But you have to start thinking more maturely, right? You have to be more grateful for what you have right now. You have to be in this area to where you and the Most High have to be one-on-one. You have to be having those conversations. You have to ask the Lord to teach me new lessons about myself each and every morning. That's what I do. I ask the Lord, can you teach me a lesson about myself? If not, something about life. And then after that, the lesson will come out of nowhere. Shamaka will just call me out of nowhere. He will be like, yo, as soon as I hear that, I'd be like, all right, it's time to listen. As soon as I hear you say, the Lord, all right, it's time to listen. It's time to listen. And there's always jewels being dropped. Then I ask him a question. So are you saying this? Then he might be like, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying that's how you build conversations, and that's how you learn. And as you're learning, you're growing. And as you're growing, you're not only reaping the benefits for yourself, but you're growing for everybody else around you. Selflessness. I'll go back to Romans
chapter 8 and verse 26.
Yep.
Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities.
Right. The Spirit helps the things that we struggle with. Go ahead.
For we know not what we should pray for as we ought.
Yep.
But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered.
Keep reading.
Verse 27. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit.
Yep.
Because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God.
Read verse 28.
Verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God.
All things work together for good to them that love God. And if you love God, you're keeping his commandments. Right? So all things are going to work good for you. And any trials that you may be going through within your life, whether it be the high times, the low times, the good moments, the bad moments, anything that you are going through, everything is going to work good for you. Because ultimately the Lord has an expected end and is filled with peace. Because that's what he wants for his children. That's what he wants for his people. But when you start thinking negatively, when you start thinking that there's no hope for me, that no one can relate to me, when you start thinking like that, then the Lord's not going to help you. This is what it is. You're going to when you think, I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold off on that because I'm going to bring that out. That's coming out later on. Numbers chapter 13. Numbers chapter 13. Let's get some examples. Now, Numbers chapter 13. Who knows what the story is about? Numbers chapter 13. Who knows what this story is about? We'll give a little quick rundown about Numbers 13. Chat, we up? We good, chat? Don't be afraid in the room, too. Who knows what Numbers 13 is about?
The top.
This is an important. This scripture is actually important.
I'm mad because I know it, but
Just go to it.
Yep.
no, because my mind's drawing a blank. I don't want to do the wrong thing.
Okay, this is a perfect.
Right.
I know it was talking about like it kind of broke down the generations, but I know I remember the part that stood out to me is the report. And that's why I drew a blank, but I remember it like subconsciously.
That's what it's going into. You got it right out. Got it right. Going to search the land of Canaan. Okay. So this, a lot of us don't know this, but Numbers 13 is an important scripture. It's very pivotal in our history. Very pivotal in our history. Let's go to Numbers 13, verse 1.
Numbers chapter 13 and verse 1.
Now, as I bring this scripture out, try to apply it. Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. Smart. Shoulder. Try to apply it within your own life. Because as we read scriptures, we try to correlate what's being taught into our own individual lives. Numbers 13, verse 1. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, send out men that they may search the land of Canaan.
Right. Now, this is the land. This is our promised land. This is the land that the Lord promised for us to be in. Go ahead.
That they may search the land of Canaan, which I have given unto the children of Israel.
Say that part again.
Which I have given unto the children of Israel.
The Lord says, search out the land of Canaan, which I have given unto the children of Israel. Were the children of Israel living in that land right now at that time?
Nope.
No, they wasn't, right? No. So anything that you act for is already yours.
Yo,
Cap's about to say something. I triggered something. Hold on.
I'm not gonna say nothing, but
That's pivotal. That's heavy.
I need people to understand what you just said.
Anything that you asked for, it's already yours. The Lord said, yo, find some men to search out this land that I already given to you. Moses already gave it to us. He said, find people to go search it out. We're not in that land at that moment, right? There's different nations living in that land. But he said, go search it out, which I already given it to you. Imagine you being in that time and you just hearing that and you're like, what? Well, I'm not even in that. We sojourners right now. We just traveling. What do you mean gave us that land? Imagine how Moses was thinking. Moses being filled with meekness and faith. He's like, all right, bet. Land's already ours. The Most High already deemed it. Just like when we go into Jeremiah 29, verse 11, I believe, the Lord's expected end for everybody is for peace, for us to prosper. He already gave it to us. He already said it. So what you're going through is just temporary. It's supposed to mold you, supposed to help you get better, supposed to give this character development within you that you may give off to other people and help other people. But he said, everything that you asked for is already yours. He said, this land is already you guys. Just go spy it out. He wants to see the action behind the works. He wants to see your action. He wants to see if you truly believe that. What you truly believe that you have prayed for is going to come your way. He wants to see that. He wants to. But we skip over that. Keep reading, Brock.
Which I have given unto the children of Israel.
Yep.
Of every tribe of their fathers shall you send a man, every one a ruler among them.
Stop right there. Now, give me verse 29. I want to just read verse 29, yeah, because it goes into the fruit of the land, how prosperous it is. Matter of fact, yep, it goes into the fruits of the land, how prosperous it is, the people that's living in the land, and how great in stature and our enemies is also in that land. So read verse 29.
Verse 29. The Amalekites dwell.
Actually, start from verse 28. Slack it.
Verse 28. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great.
Right. So in the moment that you may be living in right now, it might be great. It might be tough. It might be strong. It might be rough, what you are going through at the moment that you are in right now. Whatever moment that you're in, whether you're in the time to where you are in prosperity, right? So this is just a reminder for you to come back to, or whether you're in a time to where you are honestly struggling, when you're giving up hope and you're giving up faith. It's hard. We get it. We understand. I'm your brother. We can relate. You have sisters. Relate to your sisters. Help each other out. Go ahead. Be real with one another. Be real with one another. Read that again, Brock.
The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it.
See what Caleb said? Caleb's that brother in your personal life that you confide, that they confide to, right? That you confide to. And he said, you are able to overcome it. I said this before last class. When you talk to Shamak and Guar, the last thing that they tell you over the phone is, you're going to be all right. I swear. So Shamak's laugh. I swear. That's the last thing that you're going to be all right. And it makes you think. It's like, yo, after everything that they just said, right? After the wisdom that they just spewed out, what they talked about, the last thing that they're going to tell you is, you're going to be all right. They make you think about that because it's true. You're going to be all right. You have to believe it. You have to believe it because you're going to be all right. And when you clog yourself up with negativity and this woe is me spirit that no one else can relate to, you're not going to see that. But in the end, you're going to be all right. Caleb said that, for we are well able to overcome it. No matter who was in that land, despite their strength and stature, despite how mighty they are and the accolades that they brought forth. No matter how many people was in our land, God said that was our land. He said he already gave it to us. We are able to overcome it. You are able to overcome any obstacle within your life just through faith and patience. You want to say something?
What you had mentioned about courage earlier and what you were saying is now bringing to light the fact that Caleb and Joshua out of the 12 were the only two that had courage to actually not give the evil report that the rest of them did. Because it's 2 out of the 12 that only came back with the courage to say we're able to possess these people and take this land. You have to understand the faith that they had out of the 12 for there to literally just be 2 of them that said that we're able to overcome this land and these people, let's take it and possess it. So you can only imagine that they really had almost an unexplainable level of courage to really overcome the fact that the rest of them had fear, doubt, and disbelief. And Caleb and Joshua were the only ones that had courage and faith.
Read verse 31. Now, because of this, we kept wandering in the wilderness. Because of this situation, that's why I said this story is very important. This is very pivotal. Because of this, we kept wandering in the wilderness. We could have been had the land. But you looked at the people, you said, nah, you can't do that. You doubt the Most High. Read Brock, verse 31.
But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we.
Yep.
And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it, is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature.
Wow. Go ahead.
And there we saw giants, the sons of Anak.
Yo, it's time to stop. You know how we explained that we are a mighty nation? It's time to start bringing this up too. We got to be truthful. Yo, there are times where we lack faith as a people.
That's a fact.
We have to be truthful. Because sometimes giving up too much positive affirmations, sometimes it doesn't work. You got to be real. There's moments to where we lacked faith. There's moments to where we doubted. And because I doubted, the blessing that the Lord had for me had to be pushed back. Because they doubted and they looked at the statue of men instead of thinking on the statue of the Most High, the promised land was pushed back. The destination to that land was pushed back because they doubted.
God added more time on the GPS.
It was traffic. There was a 2-hour traffic collision. Like, he added more time. He said, nah, I gave you, that was yours. But now you want to doubt? It got to go back to me. 40, you kidding me? And what you know what the Lord did at that moment? He was destroying the people who was destroying the faithless people. He was killing the faithless people. He was taking them out. He was killing the people that doubted him, who started worshiping other people, other idols. He started doing that. Lord starts removing things out of your life. When you doubt him, he starts removing things so you can hear him better, so you can hear him clearly. You doubted the Most High. You boxed yourself. You limited yourself. And now the blessing that you prayed for is being pushed back. It's being pushed back.
What do you recommend for brothers and sisters that's going through that?
Doubt, I recommend right there, being open. Before you came in, we talked about courage. And it takes courage for you to be open and vulnerable to a brother that you can confide to. Because self-doubt is just literally the opposite of faith. But when you remember that men inside the scriptures had doubt, right? Men inside the scriptures had doubt. And Elijah, for an example, but they're there for us to relate to so they can help you regain your faith, right? There's certain moments to where, just like what I said before in the quote that I brought up before, there's certain moments to where you're unsure about certain situations. But fasting and prayer and being vulnerable to a brother will help you out. It'll help you. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would even, I would ask myself, what do I get from being in doubt? Because there's, like Maya was saying, there's nothing that we don't do that you don't get something out of. And you're always going to be rewarded with something. We're like that in human nature. You know, we do something, there's something that comes out of it. So what reward do you get out of being in doubt? Is it comfortability? Is it safety? You know, a lot of the times that's where we're sitting at, and we just have to, I think, again, I mentioned this yesterday, put our egos to the side and be vulnerable and open and be willing to change and look at yourself and say, I just can't be a slave to this anymore. You know what I mean? So that's just another way to tackle it.
It's also too, like, what are you doubting?
Right.
Like, you might not be doubting every single thing. Like for instance, there's certain things about your own abilities that you're confident in. There's certain things that you doubt. So identifying what it is that you're actually doubting and where that's coming from, you know what I'm saying, to add on to what Maya said. Because you have to be aware of what it actually is. You might not be doubting everything. Not everybody's faith is 360 degrees.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people's might be 3/4, some people's might be 80%, almost there. Some people might be 50%, a quarter. What's hindering you from applying or obtaining the faith that you need for yourself to get to where you need to be at?
God, I don't want to distract the class too much.
No, you're good. You're good. That's how you learn.
It's the top, man.
There's a certain individual, and I don't want to call that person out, but they're very hot and cold, and no matter how many times I bring that person to the light, that there'll be one moment where they're 100% in, and something dragging them right back out. And I pray for them, and I continue to be there for them. But at times, it's like, how much can you help someone that doesn't want to be helped?
Want to take that, Cap?
I'm sorry. So say that one more time.
So,
said, how much can you help someone that does not want to be helped?
But they're there though. They're in the faith, but that doubt part keeps dragging them out. And you want to be there for them, brothers and sisters, but it's like, how much time can I keep investing? How much times I gotta keep proving to you that the Most High is there for you? Huh?
Are they close to you?
God.
So it's through your, like, you being an example.
If
people can see the change, like this is okay. I could relate this good for, like, if you're in a marriage. So like, if you're a brother and you're trying to beat your woman over the head with say scriptures or like to do better or believe, and she's not following you or she's being a nuisance when it comes to that. Women are extremely good hypocrisy detectors. So like for instance, you'll say, yo, you should go to the gym. But they'll be like, yo, you haven't been to the gym in 8 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're good with that. So what you need to do is you need to be the word. You need to be the change that you're trying to help this person see and get them to, elevate or develop in their lives. Because then what you can do when you do that is less is always more. So because they can see you walking the path, I see you changing this and changing this about yourself, and you're really doing that. And what's going on? Like, what have you been doing? Boom.
What about if it's the exact opposite?
So they see what you're doing and they don't care.
So, not to put this person on blast or anything, like, they've seen my journey, I had a lot of questions, they were going on the right track and they were there, and they keep getting pulled back, and no matter how much, like, time or investment or scriptures that I bring out, I feel like this person keeps reverting. And that person is very important in my life, so I don't want to let go, especially the fact that that person was pretty much godless. Like, they were too much into so many people preaching their words and yada yada. I had a lot of questions, so I don't necessarily want to give up on that. But it's kind of hard to, like, continuing to try when they keep reverting back to their old ways.
There's a couple of ways to answer that, because I remember the scripture where Yahushua telling the disciples, you go into I'm paraphrasing, but when you go into cities and big people, give them understanding, and they don't, they're not responding to what you say, then dust your feet off.
Dust your feet.
But this person is significant in your life, so I wouldn't say that. But less is always more, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a patience game. It's really a patience game. Like, as much as my parents supersede me when it comes to faith, there's still a lot of things that I want them to know, but there's things that I've done cleverly to help. For instance, my mother, contribute to what we've done. She's made soup for the food drops. That's a way that I've got her to, kind of understand what we're doing, what we're about. You know what I'm saying? Because really she's not hearing anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, like, little things like that, help, So we'll build more about that.
The water for being open up. Where do we left off? Jump to verse. Actually, read 32 again.
Numbers chapter 13 and verse 32. And they brought up an evil report of the land.
Hold on. Are we still there, chat? Chat, we there? Testing, 2 on 2. Okay, sis. All right. We got a few. All right. We got a few. That's all we need. Okay. Are we still here? We got a few. I don't know if y'all did y'all hear clearly that build between Shamak and the brother Yatab? Give me a 1 if you heard it clearly. That was a great example of how we should be towards each other. Okay, so we're still here. All right. Our praises. All right, come on. Auntie.
You call it auntie.
Eyes on. Go ahead, Brock. Come on, Kwame.
Numbers chapter 13 and verse 32.
Go ahead.
And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying,
Yep.
The land through which we have gone through to search it, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
Right. So now let's get to verse 9. 14 verse 9.
Numbers chapter 14 and verse 9. Only rebel not ye against the Lord,
Right.
neither fear ye the people of the land.
Right. So your job is to not fear. Your job is to not fear. And a lot of us fear. We fear the outcome. We fear the unknown when we are trying to embark on this new journey in our lives, when we try to start something new, especially coming from an area to where we are struggling heavily, but we fear the unknown behind it. Stop fearing and actually do. Because the moment that you plant that seed, the moment that you start reacting with action, it's the moment to where things are going to start working your way. But with time and patience, it will come. With faith, it will come. I put, stop focusing on the struggle and already see that you are a walking blessing. Be grateful for what you have now and pray for the lessons that the Most High wants you to learn. I also put, do not give up, because the moment you give up is the moment you give up on yourself, your family, Christ, and most importantly, the Most High. All right. Let's go. Get me Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Let's get into one of the greatest. Let's get into the Father real quick.
This is Genesis chapter 12 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now the Lord had said unto Abram.
Now, who knows what this is about to go into? And as you know, we're going to try to apply this within our lives. Because this was also an important chapter. This was also an important chapter. Another prime example of great men following the word of the Lord and didn't even question them not once. Tab, you know what Genesis 12 and 1 going into? No? This is the start of Abraham's calling. Start of Abraham's calling before he was called Abraham. Go ahead, Brock.
Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee.
Right. The Lord just straight up told Abraham, yo, get out this land and go move. This was Abraham's embark on this new journey, right? His new chapter that the Lord wants him to embark on. Go ahead.
And from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee.
Right. He said, I'm going to make you a great nation, and I'm going to bless you. Now, Abraham, being the father of hope, the father of faith, listened to that. Listen to that calling and did not question him not once. Go ahead.
And make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I will.
He said that you are going to be a blessing. Through obedience and faith alone, Abraham left the environment of his father's home, which around him was idolatry. And he trusted the Most High, and he entered into a new phase within his life. And he also brought his family. Right? So as the Most High spoke, Abraham listened and he followed. And did Abraham see the blessing that the Lord blessed him with? No, right? No, Abraham did not see the blessing that the Lord blessed him with. And that's gratitude in itself. That's gratitude in itself, because Abraham was grateful enough to be that person to carry on the lineage of what you see here today. And he moved with faith. And he learned and he listened to the Most High. Never once did he disagree. But Abraham did not even get to see his blessing. So what is that showing us? That the things that we may be praying for, we might not see it, or it might take a long time for you to see it. But just know that you have to be obedient in order for you to obtain it. Because it's going to come to you. Abraham's blessing is literally into fruition. But when that time comes, he's going to see it. He's going to see the fruit of his labor. And that's many fruit. He didn't see it. But all of us, we're complaining. There's a lot of us complaining. A lot of us doesn't have gratitude. A lot of us forget about the good times that the Lord has brought us. And we complain about what we're going through right now. We think that this is it. Matter of fact, give me the definition of gratitude. Give me the definition of gratitude real quick. I need y'all to know that Abraham already perceived that he was already and had the blessing and that was promised to him. He already perceived that the blessing was already his. That's why he moved. It's already promised to him. Read that real quick, bro.
Just the state of being grateful. It is thankfulness.
That's a good thing I screenshotted it. Because that definition was trash.
Right.
Yo, that definition was trash. Here, bro. I screenshotted it. Nice try. Now I have this one.
It says gratitude is a feeling of thankfulness and appreciation for the good things in one's life, whether big or small, and can be expressed through words, actions, and even through cultivating a mindful awareness of what we have.
Right. So there's something that I want to highlight in this definition of gratitude. It says a feeling of thankfulness and appreciation for the good things in one's life. So whatever you have right now, whether it be a family, right? Whether you have kids, whether you have a home, an apartment, whether you have a job, whatever you have right now, be grateful for it. Keep reading, Salakia. Whether it be big or small, that's what I want to highlight. Whether it be big or small, be grateful for what you have, because at least you have something. At least you have something. Because there's people who do not have what you have. There's people that's struggling way worse than what you're going through. And there are times to where we put ourselves in these situations too as well, to where we put ourselves through these struggles. But who are you to be ungrateful for? When you don't have gratitude, what are you doing? You become ungrateful. Always give thanks for what you have. Give thanks for the breath of life that the Most High has given you on a day-to-day basis. Because whatever you pray for is going to come into fruition if you believe, if you know it's going to come into fruition. But always be grateful for what you have now. Thank God. Because the moment that you don't do, it's the moment you won't be blessed. Even in the big or small things. And can be expressed through words, actions, even through cultivating a mindful awareness of what we have. It says, gratitude is a positive emotion characterized by a sense of thankfulness and appreciation for receiving kindness, benefits, or good things. Personal gratitude, recognizing and appreciating the good things in your own life. Interpersonal gratitude, feeling thankful for the kindness and support of others. Give me Luke chapter 16, verse 10.
This is Luke chapter 16 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
He that is faithful in that which he is at least is faithful also in much.
I'll read that again.
He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much.
Right.
And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
He that is faithful in the least is also faithful in much. Be glad and grateful for what you have right now. It may be little. It may be little, but it's a lot to others. You might not have the financial aid that you wish you have at the moment, but be grateful for what you got, because at least you have a family that you're still feeding, that you're bringing food to the table. At least you have a home to go to, a place to stay at. Khan, the cap said that's the key to obtaining more. Gratitude. The brothers down in Florida, be grateful that y'all got that school, man. Because I know y'all was grinding for that. Look what happens when you're grateful in the little things. That's just a little thing. That's just something little. But be grateful for what you have. Be grateful, brothers that's at headquarters. Be grateful for the school that y'all have, that we have, Salakia. A lot of us, we're not showing it as much. We could be doing way more inside the school. Way more. But we're losing sight of it. Be grateful for what we have right now, because at least we have a school. Some brothers and sisters don't have a school to gather in. They don't have a place to where they can hold holy days and high holy days.
We know what it's like to not have a school. Some of us.
And we know what it's like to not have a school. Headquarters, are we forgetting that? We used to be on the damn second floor. In the second floor. Cold as hell.
Cold.
Or hot.
Damn, man. Remind me of that house, yo.
AC being on.
We came from the bed, yo.
The
AC being loud as hell. Headquarters, are we forgetting about that?
The AC being loud or the AC being on?
Oh, man.
Going on one person.
Yeah, that was off, too. Yo, that shit was
He's just going on one person.
Yo, be grateful for what we have right now, HQ. We're losing sight of that, man. But losers, these seats, these chairs are supposed to be filled up.
They will be.
They will be. They will be filled up. They will be. Trust and believe that. But we are supposed to be doing way much more than what we're doing today. And a lot of us is losing sight on that. Florida brothers, make sure you make that school home. And don't lose sight. Do not lose sight. Be grateful, because there was a point where y'all did not have a school. I didn't have a school.
Sure.
Now y'all have a place to where y'all can teach and edify and also learn martial arts at. You didn't have that before.
I'm gonna be getting busy too.
Yeah, they're getting busy right now. Read Luke chapter 16, verse 10 again.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much.
Mm-hmm.
And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
Right. I also put, you allow circumstance to dictate your speech. So
That's heavy too.
you want to say something on that?
Yeah, like.
Hold up. I'm the cat's about to go into this real quick. I'm gonna read that again. You allow circumstance to dictate your speech.
Without getting too crazy, but like, just to keep it simple, your words they hold vibrations, and when you're consumed, it's really just what you were saying earlier. When you're overconsumed and you're in this world to me, all you can see and all you speak is all you can see. So if you cannot pull your head out of what you're going through, you won't be able to communicate the way that you need to communicate in order for you to move forward from your situation. Therefore, you'll be stuck in that reality. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too
That goes into a crazy breakdown.
Yeah.
Because as a man thinketh,
So is he.
so is he.
So man thinking. So
You allow circumstance to dictate your speech. Because you wake up, you don't have it all, or you're waking up for your second job, and you think that life is hell, right? Which is the moment that you are living in, and you think that you're not pulling enough to make it by. You start speaking negatively, or you start speaking negativity around you, and you think that you can't overcome the circumstance that is in front of you. You think that you can't break down that wall. That's what you think. So when you start changing your mind and understanding that this is temporary, that the Most High does got my back, that through faith, anything, the size of a mustard seed, anything can be overcome. Size of a mustard seed. It's not asking for a lot. Anything will be overcome. Right? So I also put what you speak is a reflection of who you are. What you speak is a reflection of who you are. Who wants to take a jab at that? Chat, help me out. Help me out real quick. I just need like 3. What you speak is a reflection of who you are.
you speak from the heart, so you're gonna speak on what you feel.
What you speak is a reflection of who you are. Help me out, chat. Yeah, that's a great precept, Fanon.
I have a precept.
Go ahead.
Matthew 12:34.
Bring it out.
For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
Oh. What's that precept?
Matthew 12:34.
Matthew 12, verse 34. Out of the abundance of the heart, the what? The heart?
Yep.
The
For
mouth.
out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
34. 12 and oh, he's putting his own precept. Bring it up, Aquash. Okay, talking but not doing it. I see you says talking but not doing the actions. Okay. Now, I also put you must speak as you already obtained. Yo, man, come on, yo, come on, yo. This I told you I said in the beginning of the class, my meditations have been on life. Just like, and you know this, you know we talk 24. You just been on life, so it's been crazy. It says you must speak as if you already obtained. You want an example on that? I will be a champion. I am a champion. I am a champion. I'm speaking like I already obtained. You feel it and you know it. It's right there. You have to visualize it. Just like what Kanan put, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Just like what Mayak put, whatever's in your heart, you're going to speak it. You have to visualize it. You have to do that. The Lord gave us the ability to do so. The Lord gave us that ability. He said, what did he say in Numbers? Go spy out that land that I already given unto you. He already gave us that land. So what makes you think that you can't do that today? I will overcome this struggle. Matter of fact, I did overcome it. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to overcome the struggle. What you're doing is that you're visualizing a different outcome of what you're actually living in today. You know you have to pay that bill the next day, but you know what you're telling God? Thank you, Lord, for helping me overcome this. Thank you.
It doesn't matter about when or how. You just know.
Doesn't matter about when or how. You just know that you did. You must speak as if you already obtained. That the confidence faith brings but with faith comes patience, obedience, and discipline. Then your actions will produce results. Your actions will produce results. Yo, come on, man. Come on, man. I told you. Yeah. Your actions will produce results. Because as you're saying that you are going to be, you will overcome and you will be it. As you're saying that you are going to obtain, you will obtain it. You just don't know when, but you will obtain it. But your actions will produce those results because faith and works come together. You can't just sit and say that you will. You have to move as well. Now, give me Joshua chapter 6. Joshua chapter 6. You can bring it up, Brock.
1.
6 verse 1, yep.
This is Joshua chapter 6 and verse 1.
No, I always do this to you, Trip. All right. No, where's the... I'm in Judges. Okay, so who knows what Joshua chapter 6 is talking about? Let's take a jab. Who knows what Joshua chapter 6 is talking about? Kwam, Dollar, hit me. Come on.
You just know it's involving Jericho.
Huh? You just know it's involving Jericho?
Yeah.
Keep silent. You already answered, bro. All right. That's good. Chat, help me out. Who knows what Joshua's talking about? Chapter 6. Hang in there with me, chat. We almost there. Walls of Jericho. Yep. Come on. Go ahead, Brock. Read.
You don't want Judges?
6 for no. I wanted Joshua. I don't know why I was in Judges.
Joshua chapter 6 and verse 1. Now Jericho was straightly shut up because of the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
None went out and none came in.
Yep.
And the Lord said unto Joshua, see.
Say that again.
And the Lord said unto Joshua, see.
Just like what we read in Numbers, just like what we read in Genesis, the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thine hand Jericho. Did they obtain Jericho? When the Lord said this, no. But the Most High said, yo, I already gave you Jericho. Just go get it. The actions required, that's what I want to see. If you believe that I already given you Jericho.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What would happen if Joshua didn't believe that the Lord gave him Jericho?
They'll remain in the same captivity state that they were in. They will never obtain the promise that the Lord has given them. But the Lord said, what? See, I have already given you Jericho.
He believed.
He just wants you to see if you believe that he already given you something. He already gave us a way out of the struggle that you may be in. He given you the way. He wants to see if your actions may back up your faith, if you honestly believe him. Because a lot of us, we struggle with that belief. I said it earlier. If you are too uncomfortable to speak about it in the chat, hit somebody that you know that's going to hear you and help you. We struggle with that. We have self-doubt in this walk. And us as a people, we doubt a lot. We lack faith. But God said, what? I already given it to you. See, I already did it. I already did it. Read, Brock.
And the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor.
Right, the king thereof and the mighty men of valor. Because remember, Joshua took the mantle from Moses, so the people who already died. Joshua's dealing with the whole breed of men who didn't doubt the Most High. So you know what the men that Joshua that was with, they listened to the Lord, and they marched for 7 days. Imagine you doing that. Day one, marching. Nothing happened. You don't know what's going to happen, but that's equivalent of you waking up and you putting in work for something that you want, that you asked for, but you don't know if you're going to receive it. So you're putting in the hours. Day one, go past. Nothing happens. Day two, go past. 3 months goes past. 4 months, 5, a year goes past. I told you it took Gawar 3 years, Shammai 3 years for the Florida camp to be established, to have their own school. 3 yeds. Took Apayak didn't tell me the amount, but it took him years for him to get that home. Years. It took faith and diligence and obedience. And that's what these men did in order for them to capture Jericho. Because the Lord said what? The Lord said it was already theirs. Wherever you planted, it's already yours. That's your seed that you planted. You just have to walk away from it and know that it's going to grow and know that you will reap the fruit of it. Keep reading.
Verse 3, and ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days.
Go ahead.
And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns.
Yep.
And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priest shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him.
Jump to verse 8.
Verse 8, and it came to pass when Joshua had spoken unto the people that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns passed on before the Lord, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priest.
So this is what I said earlier. Your actions produce results. Your actions, right, through obedience, produce results. And in order for you to obtain that results, I'm going to say this again, you have to be renewed. Your character has to be renewed and refined. You can't be the same of who you was yesterday or a year ago. But you have to be renewed, because the Lord, what he does too in your trial of adversity or what you may be going through in your life, what he's doing is that he's remaking you. He's rebuilding you so you can obtain the blessing that he has for you, because he's just not going to give you it off the whim, because then you're going to fumble it. And now what was that for? You prayed for it, you fumbled. Now what? Now what can you do but blame yourself?
And your character is going to be tested.
Come on, just like what Shamak said, your character is going to be tested. Your integrity is going to be tested. Who you are by yourself is going to be tested. Right? So in order for you to obtain it, he does certain things in your life so you can keep it.
Yes.
So
you can show yourself that you evolve.
Con. I put finally the lesson in the trial of this season that you may be currently in. Take and apply the wisdom as you walk into the new season. That's key and that's important. Whatever you went through in this trial, in this season, this old season, because I'm calling it old because you're breaking through. We're not in that mindset to where we're waking up and you think that you're not blessed or nothing's going to happen for you. We're not thinking like that no more. But we're thinking with faith. We're thinking with gratitude, with prosperity. We're thinking and knowing that we will obtain the things that we do pray for. Because at the end of it all, the Lord is a God, but we forget that he's also a father. We forget that he's a father. So here's a question that I want all of us to really meditate on and reflect on. And like I said before, whoever that you have that you usually consult to for the sisters, Ida or by now for the brothers, I already said the brothers already. Really talk to them about this or answer that question to them. I put, what have you learned this past year that you can apply or share to others to help them get through their trials, that they may also obtain a breakthrough within their lives? What have you learned? What lesson that you have learned this past year that you can apply into your future self moving forward? What were the trials and the dark times and the high times that you have learned that you can take from? So moving forward, you can be equipped for the next fight that you will go through. Because like I said before, in life, there's multiple breakthroughs. In life, you're going to be going through multiple things. But this time, the next time that you do face something, you're going to do it with gratitude. You're going to know how to go through it. You're going to know how to go through it. So that's one of the questions. Sirach 34, verse 16 through 17. Here's the conclusions of the lesson.
Sirach chapter 34 and verse 16. For the eyes of the Lord are upon them that love him.
Right. The eyes of the Most High are upon them that love him. Go ahead.
He is their mighty protection and a strong stay.
Yep.
A defense from heat and a cover from the sun at noon.
Mm-hmm.
A preservation from stumbling and in help from falling.
Is that Sirach 34?
In verse 16.
Did I put the wrong one? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Keep reading till I find it, actually, because it was a powerful precept. It's the one I don't know if you remember this, Cat. Reverse. Yep, keep reading.
Verse 17. He raiseth up the soul and lighteneth the eyes. He giveth
So verse 7, raiseth up the soul, enlightening the eye. The Most High gives hope, right? And it says, he giveth health, life, and blessings. He giveth health, life, and blessings. This is what the Lord produces as he gives people hope, as he gives you hope in the circumstance that you are going through, as you're entering into this new phase of something new. He's giving you hope, and he's going to bless you. Let's go with Ecclesiastes. This is the conclusion that I told you about in the beginning of what I thought about life. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and let's start from verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 7.
Yep.
A time to rend and a time to sow.
Yep.
A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
A time to keep silence and a time to speak. Keep reading.
A time to love and a time to hate.
A time to love and a time to hate. Keep reading.
A time to war and
a time to war. There are times that you're going to be warring. There's going to be a time to where you war. But at the end of each battle, you find this form of clarity, knowing that you have won that battle. Don't be the one that you have lost. Don't be on a losing end. But there's a time to war so you can obtain peace. Go ahead.
a time to war and a time to peace.
And seeking peace is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. Keep reading as I look for something real quick.
You have to fight for peace.
No, what did you say, Kat?
I I say you have to fight for peace. Just because you deserve something doesn't mean it's gonna be handed or given to you.
Come on.
You gotta fight for what you deserve. That's in anything. Life, marriage, I'm saying anything. Anything that's worth fighting for, or you that's worth your while, you have to fight for it.
Come on, off the precept to what you're saying, I just found it. Give me Psalms chapter 34, verse 14. The precept to what you just said. I found it. And then we're going to jump back to Ecclesiastes.
Psalm chapter 34 and verse 14. Depart from evil and do good.
Right, depart from evil and do good. Go ahead.
Seek peace and pursue it.
Seek peace and pursue it. So when you're pursuing something, you're chasing something, and you have to fight for it. Because the things that you want, you're going to have to fight for. So if you want peace, you got to fight for peace. You got to do good and seek it. That's what ultimately the Lord wants for us to do. No matter what you may be going through in this season of your life, in this trial of your life. Go back to Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
Yep.
A time to war and a time of peace.
Keep reading.
What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth?
Mm-hmm.
I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it.
Keep reading verse 11.
He hath made everything beautiful in his time.
So this is my conclusion. God has made everything beautiful in his time. No matter what you may be going through the highs and the lows, through the good moments, through the bad moments, right? God has made everything beautiful for his time. He created life as such. Keep reading.
He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end.
I called it beautiful because you begin to become close to the Most High through the lessons behind life and the jewels that you obtain. No matter the dark moments, no matter the light moments, you obtain jewels from it. And when you seek peace, you begin to have a better life. I'll say that too as well. When you're seeking peace, you understand that you're not boxing your mind or limiting yourself, but you're stepping outside the box, which means that your faith is increased, and the things that you have asked for, you will obtain. The things that you say will come to you. That was it on that. I'll also say that, like I said, just to continue to have faith, family, and to prepare yourself also for the Pesach that's coming up, and do not wear a costume, but make sure you enter in that ceremony with a renewed heart, with a renewed mind, and check yourself daily. Ask yourself, are you doing enough? Ask yourself, are you doubtful? Ask yourself, what are the things that I'm struggling with? Or what are the lessons that the Lord is trying to teach me? Ask yourself these questions. Be honest with yourself. As you're being honest with yourself, it teaches you how to be vulnerable to those whom you seek for help. With that, take us out, bro.
Ahmad Makudam. This is Psalm chapter 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yahshua shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. In the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Tawadat Yad, Aman. Amadrim Shabbat, Amadrim, Barak, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barak.
How about Shimon Shabbat?